Ladies and gentlemen, today we are drawn to contemplate a figure who might at first seem familiar yet is profoundly misunderstood, the woman with no friends. Our society tends to regard her with a mix of curiosity and pity, thinking perhaps that a friendless life is an incomplete one. But what if in her solitude there lies a depth we have overlooked? What if a life lived without friends can also be a life richly filled with meaning? True companionship isn't always found in numbers. Sometimes it resides quietly within us, awaiting recognition. A woman without friends often embarks on a unique journey that few understand and even fewer appreciate. She finds herself in the intimate company of her own spirit, where every thought, feeling, and reflection becomes an essential companion on her path. Unlike the typical friendships we know, this relationship with oneself is not bound by societal expectations or fleeting interests. Instead, it is an unbroken, unconditional connection that opens doors to depths rarely explored. This solitude invites her to embrace her innermost thoughts and emotions, free from the judgments or influences of others. When she walks alone, she is not swayed by external opinions or pressured to conform. Rather, she is empowered to sit with herself, to listen deeply to the silent wisdom that emerges from within. In this stillness, she comes to know herself in a way that is raw, unfiltered, and authentic. She learns to dance with her inner thoughts, moving gracefully with the ebb and flow of her emotions. In the silence of solitude, she realizes her emotions are her own to explore, her dreams are her own to nurture, and her fears are hers to face without the safety net of distraction or validation. Over time, she uncovers layers of her personality that might have remained hidden in the company of others. She learns to appreciate her quirks, to accept her perceived flaws, and to find strength in her vulnerabilities. These moments of reflection reveal parts of her soul that crave attention and healing, allowing her to cultivate self-compassion in a way that only solitude can teach. She discovers that self-acceptance does not come from others affirming her worth, but from the quiet assurance within her own heart that she is enough as she is. This discovery, though subtle, has a transformative power. She finds herself growing comfortable in her own presence, content in the company of her spirit, and deeply attuned to the rhythm of her inner life. In these moments, the absence of friendship does not signify loneliness. Instead, it becomes a fertile ground for self-discovery and growth. Her solitude allows her to understand that companionship can be found within, and that sometimes the greatest ally she will ever have is herself. As she moves through life, her connection with her spirit becomes a guiding light, a steady and resilient force. She finds peace in her own thoughts, resilience in her own strength, and love in the quiet acceptance of her own being. This woman, once defined by her solitude, is no longer alone in any sense of the word. She has found a friend in herself, a constant presence that will accompany her wherever she goes. Her journey into solitude has led her to the most authentic companionship, a bond that neither time nor circumstance can sever. A life without friendships may lack the warmth and comfort that comes from shared memories, inside jokes, and familiar faces, but it also opens a door to a rare kind of freedom, one that is untethered, unrestricted, and filled with boundless possibility. In this space of solitude, a woman finds herself unburdened by the expectations and emotional demands that often accompany friendships. She is liberated from the subtle influences and pressures that shape and guide so many of our daily choices. Instead, she can live in a way that is fully her own, untamed by the need to seek approval or worry about fitting into a particular mold. This freedom, though sometimes lonely, gifts her with a unique and precious independence. When there are no friendships to maintain, there is also no need to compromise or adjust one's life to accommodate others' desires, plans, or viewpoints. She becomes the sole architect of her experiences, carving out her path without concern for how it may be perceived or judged. She can change her mind as often as she pleases, set her own pace, and live according to her own rhythm. Free from social ties, she is able to make choices that align purely with her values and interests, unhindered by the subtle, often unnoticed weight of shared opinions and collective preferences. Her path becomes a reflection of her true self, guided by her instincts and her inner compass. This independence allows her to explore life with a sense of curiosity and openness. She is not beholden to anyone's expectations or opinions, which means she can take risks, venture into unknown territories, and make mistakes without the fear of disappointing others. She learns to navigate life on her own terms, trusting her own judgment and instincts. Her sense of self becomes her anchor, not the validation or support of others, and this inner strength carries her through the highs and lows of life. In embracing her solitude, she gains a clarity of purpose and a resilience that are rarely available to those who are deeply embedded in social networks. Though she may lack the warmth that friendships bring, she learns that she can find fulfillment within herself and in her connection to the world at large. She becomes more attuned to the small wonders around her, the beauty of nature, the joy of solitary activities, and the profound sense of peace that comes from being fully present in her own life. Her solitude becomes a canvas upon which she paints her authentic self, free from the constraints and compromises that often accompany friendship. Living without attachments, she discovers that her life is not empty but spacious, a vast and open field where she is free to roam, explore, and grow. This freedom may be invisible to those who value companionship above all, but to her, it is a cherished liberation, one that enables her to embrace life fully without fear or hesitation. Her independence is her power, her solitude her sanctuary, and her life untethered and unbound, a journey that is entirely beautifully her own. In solitude, the voice of the soul grows louder, resonating in the stillness where distractions fade and inner truths emerge. For a woman standing alone without friends to share the journey, this moment becomes a sacred space for reflection and introspection. In a world often filled with the noise of external validation and social obligations, solitude offers her the rare opportunity to tune into the whispers of her heart and mind, those quiet truths that often lie hidden beneath the surface of daily life. Without the presence of others to shape her thoughts or influence her feelings, she begins to peel back the layers of her identity, exploring the depths of her desires, fears, and aspirations. Each moment of silence invites her to delve deeper into her psyche, to confront the thoughts and emotions she may have previously brushed aside. In this process, she learns to embrace her vulnerabilities and listen closely to the wisdom that arises from within. It is here, in this intimate dialogue with herself, that she discovers the profound insights that can only be heard in the absence of outside chatter. The act of listening to her inner voice becomes a transformative experience. As she navigates the complexities of her own thoughts, she begins to recognize patterns that have shaped her decisions and shaped her life. She learns to discern between the voice of fear and the voice of intuition, distinguishing between what she truly desires and what she has been conditioned to believe she should want. This self-awareness enables her to make choices that align more closely with her authentic self, leading her on a path of fulfillment and purpose. In solitude, she also confronts her fears, acknowledging their presence without judgment. Rather than shying away from discomfort, she learns to sit with it, to understand its origins and its messages. Each fear becomes a teacher, revealing lessons about resilience, strength, and courage. This process of self-discovery nurtures a deeper sense of compassion for herself as she recognizes the complexities of her emotional landscape. In learning to embrace her vulnerabilities, she cultivates a strength that is quiet yet profound. Moreover, this listening extends beyond mere reflection. It becomes an active engagement with her inner wisdom. As she practices being present with her thoughts, she starts to formulate ideas, dreams, and aspirations that resonate with her soul's calling. These insights are not mere fleeting thoughts, they become guiding principles, illuminating her path and helping her navigate the world with clarity and confidence. In this journey of self-exploration, the woman learns that she is not merely a solitary figure, but a vast universe of experiences, thoughts, and emotions. The quiet truths she uncovers in solitude become her allies, encouraging her to trust herself and embrace her unique journey. She comes to understand that solitude is not an absence, but a presence and opportunity to connect with her true essence and engage deeply with the voice of her soul. Ultimately, this inner wisdom enriches her life, allowing her to step into the world with renewed clarity and purpose, confident in the knowledge that she is whole, worthy, and profoundly connected to herself. While friends can provide a comforting affirmation of who we are, the experience of solitude invites a woman to embark on a profound journey towards self-discovery and self-worth that transcends external validation. In a world that often measures value by the approval of others, the absence of friendships can initially feel daunting. However, it is in this very emptiness that she uncovers a deeper understanding of herself, learning to appreciate her inherent worth without relying on the reflections of those around her. As she navigates life without the backdrop of friendship, she begins to peel away the layers of her identity that have been shaped by the expectations and opinions of others. This process can be both challenging and liberating. Initially, she might grapple with feelings of loneliness or insecurity, questioning her place in a society that prizes connection. Yet, as she confronts these emotions, she discovers that solitude provides a unique vantage point, a space where she can explore her thoughts and feelings without the noise of outside influence. In this quiet environment, she learns to listen to her inner dialogue, gradually reframing her understanding of self-worth. The truth emerges: her value is not contingent upon the number of friends she has or the accolades she receives from others. Instead, it resides within her, waiting to be acknowledged and celebrated. Solitude allows her to cultivate a relationship with herself that is built on acceptance, kindness, and compassion. She begins to see her strengths, talents, and unique qualities, learning to appreciate them without seeking approval from external sources. Through this newfound perspective, she can confront the insecurities that have held her back. The fear of not being liked or accepted starts to diminish as she recognizes that her worth is intrinsic. This shift in mindset empowers her to pursue her passions, set her own goals, and make decisions based on what truly resonates with her spirit. She finds joy in her own company, discovering hobbies and interests that bring her fulfillment and satisfaction, not because they seek validation from others, but because they align with her authentic self. The absence of friendship becomes an opportunity for self-reflection and growth. She learns to establish boundaries, prioritize her needs, and advocate for herself in ways she may not have done while entangled in social expectations. This self-advocacy fosters a profound sense of agency and independence, reinforcing her inner worth. With each passing day, she grows more confident in her decisions and more at peace with her choices, understanding that she is worthy of love and respect simply for being who she is. Ultimately, a woman who embraces solitude discovers that her self-worth is a wellspring of strength, rising from the depths of her own being rather than the fleeting affirmations of others. She learns to define herself on her terms, celebrating her individuality and cultivating a sense of fulfillment that is both lasting and profound. In this journey, she finds not only self-acceptance, but also an empowering sense of autonomy, emerging with a deep understanding that she is enough, just as she is whole, worthy, and beautifully unique. In closing, we have explored the profound journey of a woman who finds herself without friends. Through embracing solitude, she learns to navigate the depths of her own spirit, discovering true companionship within. The unique independence that comes from being unattached allows her to explore life authentically, free from societal expectations. In the quiet of her own company, she listens to her inner wisdom, unlocking truths that guide her path and illuminate her purpose. Finally, she realizes that her worth is not defined by the validation of others, but is an intrinsic part of her being. This journey of self-discovery, fueled by solitude, leads her to a powerful understanding of her own value and strength. Let us celebrate this woman's resilience and the beauty of her journey, reminding us all that solitude can be a sacred space for growth, self-acceptance, and profound inner fulfillment. Let us honor her path, for it reminds us that while friends are a gift, solitude is a teacher. It reminds us that every woman, whether surrounded or solitary, holds within her the potential to be whole, to be free, and most importantly, to be truly at peace.